Okay, here we want to find the absolute minimum and maximum. Now, the absolute minimum and maximum, we're going to be looking on a closed interval. So the only thing that we're concerned about is what's happening from 1 to 4. Okay, not -3, not 5, not -7, not 9. The only thing we're concerned about is what's going on from 1 to 4. So this is the application of the first derivative. So let's look at it. The first thing we want to do is find the first derivative. So f prime of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x. And of course, we set this equal to 0 because we want to find the critical points. Okay, 3x squared minus 6x is equal to 0. The greatest common factor is going to give, we factor out 3x. So that's x minus 2 is equal to 0. Of course, we set both of them equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2. These are our critical points. And as we talked about, the critical points are always very important. But now here's the thing. 0 is not on the interval 1 to 4. It's outside the interval because that's the first thing. We are only concerned with what's happening from 1 to 4. So we're not going to even try this one. So now what we do, we evaluate this function at f of 1. So that's going to be 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared plus 2. Remember to use our order of operations. It's easy to make a mistake right here if we're not careful. That's going to be 1 minus 3 plus 2, which is going to give us 0. Next, we want to evaluate this at f of 2. That's going to be 2 cubed minus 3 times 2 squared plus 2. That's going to give us 8 minus 12, which is -4, plus 2, which is -2. And now we want to evaluate this at f of 4. So if you notice, we evaluated this at both endpoints and the critical point, but we omitted the 0 because it was not included in our interval. So f of 4 is equal to 4 cubed minus 3 times 4 squared plus 2. 4 cubed is 64. 64 minus 48, which is 16. And 16 plus 2, which is 18. So here, our lowest number, when we graph this, we're going to have an absolute minimum at 2 and -2. That's going to be our lowest point. And we're going to have an absolute maximum at 4 and 18. And you can graph this. You can check it on the graphing calculator. And it's going to be correct. So this is how we find the absolute minimum and the absolute maximum. Now, if we were to change this interval, instead of 1 to 4, of course, the critical points wouldn't change, but our absolute maximum and minimum would change because now we're focused on a different point. A different interval.